Hello everyone, welcome to another video. It is me, Desiree, and it is that time again to shop my stash. So at the beginning of every month, I've been shopping my stash. Usually it's a different kind of category or different theme. This month, there's no theme. I just picked out some stuff I hadn't used or wanted to use. And at the end of the month, I will go through it and share with you whether I'm going to keep or declutter the item and give you a little review. So this is going to be the shopping portion, but I am going to put all of these products on my face as well. So I didn't pick out a primer, not for any particular reason. I just didn't feel like it. And I have some primers I've been really loving to use right now, but I'm also not going to put any on because I just put on some sunscreen. The Laneige Hydro UV Defense. This is the best. It's awesome. Love it so much. But that is what is giving me that glow. And it has sunk in pretty well on my skin, but I still feel very hydrated. So not going to put on any primer, and I'm not going to shop my stash for one. But the foundation I decided to pull out is the Merit Foundation Stick, the Perfecting Complexion Stick. And I have here the shade Linen. There you go. And the brand did send me a foundation stick. Not this one, because when they asked if they could send me stuff, I picked out a different shade that didn't work for me. This is the one I did buy with my own money. And although it fell out. Well, maybe I shouldn't have opened it like an animal, but the stick flew right out onto the ground. Luckily, the floor was clean-ish, so it wasn't covered in cat hair like I was expecting it to be. Okay, well, normally, what was I even saying? This foundation stick, the color I think is a little too light for me. And this is also the only foundation that I like putting on with a brush. Just because this one, I think you do need to put it on with a brush. They even sell a foundation brush, and I've tried this with the sponge as well. I don't think it blends in as nicely. So we're just gonna put this on, and I haven't used this in a while. So let's just kind of... I honestly just picked out whatever clean brush was right there. This is the e.l.f. Airbrush Stipple brush. This is a nice brush though for blending in foundation, I think. It's very, very lightweight. I honestly haven't used this in a while, so I kind of forgot about it. Seems to blend in very, very fast. Anytime I see someone blending foundation with a brush, it makes me want to try it, and I always hate it. I always hate it. I don't know, I just don't know. It just looks streaky and weird, but I think it might be just the brush that I'm using, you know? So there it is, blended in on the bottom half of my face. I haven't done my nose or my forehead yet. But I think this is blending really nicely also because of the sunscreen that I had on. It, by default, makes a very nice primer. Uh-oh. I think I love it. I think I love it. That looks nice. It looks nice. It looks skin-like. It looks natural. I think the shade is pretty good too. I always felt like it was really light, but maybe it's because it's the dead of winter. And, you know, lighter shades just tend to work better. Let me get like a closer look and check the streak situation. I mean, it looks good. It just doesn't look perfect, you know? Let's put a little more. But it does blend in really quickly. I mean, look how fast that was. All right, looks good. I like it. I'm really excited to pull this out this month and use it again because I really like this brand a lot. But for some reason, this product never really like stands out to me. I am gonna put on a little concealer. I didn't shop my stash for one. I'm just using what I have. And I think I'm done with my Kulfi concealer, the main match concealer. Like, I'm even scraping it with my little tool here, and I can't get anything out. I've like scraped everything I possibly can out of here. This is one of the best concealers I've ever used. I am so sad that it's gone, and I 100% will repurchase this. It's fantastic. It does everything. It moisturizes, it covers, it lasts all day, it looks great, it doesn't crease, even on the under eyes, it doesn't settle into fine lines. It's the bomb. Absolutely love. 100% would recommend to anybody, any skin type, and I will buy it again. Love it. And I'm very sad it's gone. I just realized I wanted to do eyes first. I wanted to do eyes first because I'm using a palette that I 100% know is going to have fallout. Darn it. Darn it. What do I do? What do I do? Well, you know what? We're just gonna have to be very, very, very careful with the eyes. Darn it, darn it, darn it. Okay, so foundation, concealer, and powder. I did a little of the Milani Prep Set and Glow. I'm just gonna use this every day until I use it up. Like, I'm so close to using it up, so it's discontinued, but just use what you have, obviously. So let's go for bronzer. I'm gonna pull out the CYO bronzing powder. It's called When the Sun Don't Shine, and I have the shade Fair. This is a long since discontinued brand. That make any sense? It's a discontinued brand. They used to sell this exclusively at Walgreens, and I wish they still sold it because they had a lot of great products, and the brand was very, very affordable. And I'm pretty sure it was cruelty-free too. So it was a great brand. I don't know why they discontinued it so quickly because it didn't seem like it was around for that long, and it seemed very popular too. People were always doing videos on it and how great the products were, and it was always selling. So I don't know. But you know, brands come and go. Two other brands I'm reminded of now are the brand, I don't remember, one of them was like a butterfly theme. We carried it at Walgreens. I don't remember who made it. But then Eva Mendes had a brand too. I don't remember the name of that one either. But one of my favorite brushes of all time is from that brand. They're so good, I can't even remember the name of them. Anyway, I'm sure some of you remember the, oh, Circa. It was called Circa. Her brand was called Circa, and the other brand, I feel like it was Color or something like that. Anyway, bronzer on, love it. Wish they would bring this brand back. Don't know why they got rid of it. Okay, so for a highlighter, I was so excited to pull this out. So this is something I bought on Poshmark just recently, like maybe a couple weeks ago. This is something I had been wanting for years and years. I would go to Sephora and swatch them and just dream about owning one day. And then one day I finally was like, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna buy one. I went, they were nowhere to be found, and I went, oh my God, I waited too long. They discontinued them. I never saw them again, and they were discontinued. And then they came back, but they're different. Like, they're not the same formula. I never tried the original one on my face. I just always swatched it. So I knew it wasn't the same. I did buy one. It's only okay for me. But it's this. Do you guys remember these highlighters from Dior? I can't believe I finally own one. I actually bought two in two different shades. I saw them on Poshmark and they were a pretty good price, and they were like barely used. I mean, look at that. So this is the Dior Nude Luminizer in the shade 02. And I actually haven't used this on my face yet. I have just been obsessing over it, and I haven't used it yet because of all the years I really wanted it. I'm worried that it's not gonna be as good as I've built it up in my head, you know? But here we go. We're gonna try it out. Oh, I'm so excited. Please be good. Please be good. It's good. It's awesome. It has like a pinky undertone to it. Please don't have that gray. Oh, it doesn't. Nice. Ooh. I'm very excited. I'm so excited to have this. Oh my goodness. It has a really pretty pink kind of reflect to it. How nice. Let's swatch it. Oh my God, my hands are so dry now that I wiped off that moisturizer. There's that swatch there. So pretty. And one of the things that keeps me from like freaking out over new releases and stuff where I'm like, I have to have it, it's gonna sell out, I'm gonna die. The thing that keeps me from freaking out anymore is Poshmark, places like Poshmark. If you are looking for something, someone is gonna sell it to you, you know? So if you have like a long, like old favorite that you just like feel in your heart you want it and you're like, I have to have that again, look for it online. I guarantee someone is out there selling it. Sometimes the price is really, really expensive. These ones weren't too bad. But you know, if you feel like you're missing out, there's always someone that's gonna sell it to you. For blush, I'm pulling out the Too Faced Love Flush blush in the shade Funfetti. This was either an HSN or a QVC exclusive back in the day. It's a really pretty blush, and I rediscovered this because of my blush declutter video. And I pulled it out the other day and I only used it once, and I thought, oh, I want to use that again. It's really pretty. Just a nice pinky flush. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy, but I'm going to keep building it up till it looks crazy. Okay, and then the eyeshadow. Actually, do I want to do brows first? No, let's go for eyeshadow first. So this is, I picked out 3 palettes to use. This is the Melt Cosmetics Bad Side Zodiac Water Palette. I showed this in a haul video and I haven't even used it. I didn't use it because another palette I showed in that haul was the KVD Moon Garden palette, and that palette stole my heart. I love it. Every single shade is exquisite. They all go together well. It's so easy to use. And I used it all week, and then I thought I'm going to do a video on this palette. And when I was looking through the website to link it, it was nowhere to be found. It was off the Ulta website. It was off the KVD website. It wasn't even listed as like a previous palette that's like sold out on sale. Nothing. It was gone off the face of the earth. No idea why. It was just gone. So I never did the video on it, and I felt kind of bad because I really wanted to do it. But anyway, this is the other palette that was in that haul, and this is the one I wanted to wear today that I just feel like is going to cause a lot of fallout, but we're going to try it out. This is the one I want to try. But the other 2 palettes I pulled out for the month, this one, remember this? The ColourPop Fame palette? I was crazy. I was about to say obsessed. I was obsessed. I was crazy about this palette. It's so pretty. I did do a whole video review on it. I love it. I loved everything about this palette. This is one that I wish they kept in their line, because they keep some palettes in their line all the time, and then they have a bunch of limited edition collections. This is one that I wish they kept in their line all the time, but I'm sure there are other palettes in their line now that are very similar. And then I pulled out this, the Lunar Beauty Strawberry Dream palette. I mean, let's just take a minute to appreciate that packaging. Look at that. It's so pretty. So pretty. So I've used this a handful of times, and it has like a scent, like a strawberry scent. It's really nice. Anyway, I used this a handful of times. I bought this a while back, probably close to when it first came out, and I found this palette very difficult to work with, but everybody else seemed to love it so much that I was like, I have to keep it. I also love it, but I don't like working with it. But this month I decided I'm just gonna give it a go, use all the shades, see what I can do. And even if I don't end up liking it, I'm gonna keep it, because look at that. I love the packaging so much. But this is the one we're gonna use today, the Bad Side Zodiac Water Palette from Melt Cosmetics. I do already have eyeshadow primer on, and I wanna use the green. I think I'm gonna do that green there, that green shimmer, and then maybe that dark blue called Ugly Crying. I like that shade name. I'm just gonna kind of bounce around the palette and we'll see. And I'm gonna do my best not to make a mess because I forgot to do eyes first. What are you gonna do? I'll just have to be very, very careful. I'm gonna go with the shade Secretive first, this one here. Then I'm gonna go with the green. Maybe it'll help it blend a little. And then I'm gonna put that green shimmer on the lid. But I'm gonna tap off the excess and try my best not to make a mess, because I don't want to wipe green eyeshadow fallout off of my makeup. Ooh, that shade I didn't think was going to have a lot of pigment, but it does. The shade called Secretive, that nice light brown. Looks nice. Okay, I don't want to overdo it with the brown because I want it to be mostly a green look, but that's so pretty. I want to keep putting it on. All right, I'm going to go with that green shade on the end called Trust Issues. That looks like a really pretty shade. Try to be careful here. If anything, I think the shimmer is gonna have the fallout, not too much these mattes. Oh, ew. No, I don't like the way that that looks mixed with that brown. I should not have put that brown, but I thought it was gonna have a little less pigment than it did. What are you gonna do? Let's just keep adding more green. Maybe it'll cover up that brown. Oh yeah, it's working. It's blending really nicely. Same on the other side. Oh, that looks better. Maybe there was some brown shadow still left on the brush that was mixing with the green, because this side looks a lot better right away. It doesn't look like a weird brown green. Ooh, I like the way that's looking, and it's blending very nicely. All right, that looks nice, and it's blending so nicely. Very, very powdery though. It's like kicking up a lot in the pan. Okay, I'm gonna go for the green. We're gonna go for it. This one here called Moody. I really wanted to use Manipulative. That's another shimmer in the palette there. But I think I want it to be all green. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I don't think this is gonna have a lot of fallout. It's super, super creamy. Oh my gosh, look how pretty. It's such a pretty creamy shade. My hands look awful. I have this cut here. My hands are all flaky from being dry. I have my smashed fingernail. I have a cut right here. What am I doing with my life? Anyway, trying to show you this nice palette with my cuts all over my hands. Anyway, I don't think this is gonna have a lot of fallout because it's such a creamy shade. It doesn't feel powdery at all. So let's, ooh, oh yeah, that's really pretty. It's sticking on the lid really, really nicely. It's so windy. Can you guys hear the wind? I'd be surprised if you can't. I was looking at the weather thing and it said there's going to be gusts up to 65 miles an hour today. And it was really windy last week as well. There was broken trees everywhere. Our neighbor's tree that hangs over our fence had a big old piece break off and it was just barely hanging on, like it happened to get stuck, so they were trying to get it down the other day. But a bunch of trees were broken, people's trash cans tipped over, trash blowing everywhere. It was awful. This is really a really pretty color. I don't know what I was expecting from this, but I don't know, I just wasn't expecting it to be so blendable. I don't know why. But it's working nice. And so far, not one speck of fallout. I'm so happy with that. All right, that looks really nice. I want to try to use some of this. Maybe I'm going to go with this one called Emo on the end there and try to darken up the outer corner just a little bit. I'm just going to like tap it on, not blend it around too much because I don't want to disturb that shimmer that I put on. Even though it feels like it's stuck to the lid pretty well, you know, I just don't want to take any chances on any fallout. So just a little bit of depth. Perfect. Other side. I'm gonna take a little bit because I really want to use that shade Manipulative. Now that I know how good that green shimmer was, I want to use some of this one here on the inner part of my lid. Ooh, nice and shiny. I just want to put like a little bit on the inner part there. Not really doing what I thought it was gonna do, but no, don't really like it that much. I'm gonna clean up the outer part just a little bit with some micellar water because I don't want it to look too like turned down like this. And I feel that's where my blend kind of went, just a little bit. Okay, all right, lower lash line. I'm just gonna do Secretive and a little bit of this dark brown one. So Secretive all over the bottom lash line and then the dark brown just on the outer part. Kind of like using this little mirror here, actually. Sometimes I always forget palettes have mirrors. So I just use my big mirror. I'm kind of shocked at how good this palette is. I don't know why I wasn't expecting it to be that good. Maybe the color selection. You know, greens and blues don't really seem to be ones that brands do exceptionally well at a lot of the time, especially blue. But this has turned out quite nice. All right, and then Possessive, just on the outer corner. Ooh, I like it. Okay, I'm gonna put on some black liner because I think this look just kind of needs it. This is the Tarte Surfer Curl Gel Liner, and I'm pretty sure they're discontinuing the whole Surfer line and the C line. Pretty sure, because everything's on clearance. Kind of sad because it's a good line and it hasn't been around that long, so kind of weird. Oh yeah, love it a lot. And I think mascara will definitely bring the look together. But I'm gonna do eyebrows. Rimmel Kind and Free Brow Pencil. I really, really like the way these eyes came out. I'm so glad I picked out that palette. I honestly thought it was gonna be a mess and it wasn't gonna blend. I don't know. Definitely surprised me. Okay, the brows are drying and then I'm gonna add some more powder, but first I'm gonna do setting spray, and I'm shopping my stash for the NYX Dewy Setting Spray. I haven't used this in a very long time. I did a few test sprays earlier and it's spraying nice now. Earlier it was spraying like this, so we'll see. Always scared, always scared. Real nice. That's a really nice mist. Mascara, I'm gonna do the Maybelline Sky High on the lower lashes. On the upper lashes, I'm gonna do the Sky High Primer with the CoverGirl Ageless Plumping Mascara. This was a fail for me, but once I brought in this primer, this is like one of the best mascaras with primer. So, gonna put on mascara since I didn't shop my stash for anything. I'm gonna put this on and then we will wrap it up. The only thing when I'm putting on the primer, I keep forgetting I'm not putting on mascara. Like, don't keep building it up like it's mascara. Just do the one coat and then leave it as is. I do let it dry just a little bit. They do say to let it dry before you put on mascara. I don't like to do that. I don't think you get the benefits out of the primer. Because then at that point, I feel like I'm just trying to, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me to put it on top of dry primer. So I do let it dry just a little bit. I mean, just a little. All right, and that is it. I think I went a little heavy on the brows, but I think it kind of goes with the eye look. The mascara, I think, really does bring the eyes together. I think I say that in every one of these videos, but it does. At first, the makeup might start looking kind of crazy. Like I said, the brown lower lash line made me look sick, but having some black in there, I think really just like ties it all together. So what do we think? The Merit foundation stick, I love how easy this was to blend, like super, super fast. But if I remember correctly, this does get greasy throughout the day. So I'll have to kind of just see how it goes throughout the month. Bronzer, love it. Wish the brand was still around. Same with the blush, love it so much. I'm excited to use these other two palettes, but this one was really nice. I think it blended super well, and this is definitely one of my favorite looks I've done in a long time. This is a good little palette. I didn't use the shade called Dead Inside or the shade called Ugly Crying, but I did use all of the other shades, which is pretty cool. That's those two dark ones there. So I definitely will use those this month, and then these other two palettes as well. But yeah, that is it. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear from you in the comment section. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And I will see you later in another video. Goodbye.